I'm washing my clothes so I don't have my shirt, so I'm going to go read it without my shirt on. Here we go. SCP-1121, item number SCP-1121. Object Class Euclid. Special Containment Procedures. Only 2 specimens have been collected of SCP-1121, both at initial containment. These are kept in one of Biological Research Site 13's refrigerated biohazard containment cells in a freezing medium composed of 12% dimethyl-sulfoxide, 20% heat-inactivated calf serum, and an exit medium at -70 degrees Celsius. Cultures of SCP-1121-1 are kept in a glycerol stock under identical temperatures in a separate refrigerated biohazard containment cell. Due to the rarity of SCP-1121 samples, tests are to use SCP-1121-1 cultures instead. Testing is to be authorized and conducted by at least one Level 4 member of an on-site research staff. All personnel not designated a test subject are to wear a Level A hazmat suit with SCBA before handling any cultures of SCP-1121-1. Failure to do so will result in immediate quarantine and, upon completion of all stages, incineration of the remains. Should infections with SCP-1121-1 be reported outside of Foundation control, a quarantine is to be instated with a 10-kilometer radius of the established epicenter. All victims not yet deceased are to be terminated, followed by controlled incineration of all bodies. Seemingly uninfected civilians and personnel within the quarantine zone will be detained and monitored. If they develop no symptoms after 24 hours, they are to be administered Class A anesthetics and relocated. Any individuals that do develop symptoms within that time period are to be terminated and incinerated. A suitable cover story will be circulated to the media. Description: SCP-1121 is a previously unknown ameboid protozoa with very specific mutagenic qualities triggered only by Staphylococcus epidermidis. Let me say that again. Staphylococcus epidermidis. A normally benign bacterium present on human skin. If introduced to other organisms, SCP-1121 remains dormant. DNA extracted from samples of SCP-1121 shares genes with several insect species, such as Afrosimex constrictus, Viotalpa don't know these words. That was not in the file. While also containing several genes not currently found in known flora or fauna. SCP-1121 does not seem to procreate naturally and does not need fluid to survive. Once introduced to epidermidis, SCP-1121 mutates all instances of the bacteria into SCP-1121-1, classified as Staphylococcus epidermidis. Exitiabilis. Let me say that again. Staphylococcus epidermidis. Exitiabilis. Before dying, at this point a subject is considered infected and will start to show stage 1 symptoms as detailed below. Note that while S. epidermidis does not normally cause infection, in healthy human beings, the SCP-1121-1 pathogen infects 100% of subjects exposed to it. SCP-1121-1 has proven resistance to all known antibiotics, and at this time, no known cure for infections with Staphylococcus epidermidis exitiabilis exists. A subject infected with SCP-1121-1 goes through a set number of stages. Stage 1, 2 to 5 hours after initial infection, small white lesions appear on the skin. This does not differ from infection by S. epidermidis, making wrong diagnosis a distinct possibility. Stage 2, approximately 24 hours after the onset of Stage 1, the lesions will gradually begin to disappear, the infection having spread to the lower layers of the patient's skin. SCP-1121-1 then consumes these subcutaneous tissue, transforming it into a highly viscous substance. This process is extremely painful. The patient's skin is at this point connected to underlying tissues only by the substance is excreted by SCP-1121-1. In addition, subject's skin turns pale and slouches in areas, mimicking the effects of massive sudden weight loss. Also, resembles old age. That is not in the file. Stage 3. Patients begin removing their skin from their body. Most patients use their own hands for skinning, though in some cases patients resorted to using various tools, including knives, windshield scrapers, and in one case a redacted. This process seems to be painless due to the events of Stage 2, and does not seem to be a conscious activity. When the anomalous substance underneath the skin is exposed to air, it gradually, data expunged, commonly found on insects. Victims rapidly become disoriented and invariably hostile to anyone not infected by SCP-1121-1 as the process of skin removal progresses. In light of this, termination of all victims is necessary, preferably before the disease enters Stage 3. No occurrences of SCP-1121 have been observed outside of initial containment, but the bacterium replicates itself rapidly during stages 1 and 2. Infection of new patients occurs primarily by skin-to-skin contact, though evidence exists of infection spreading in situations where no direct contact was observed. Making Level A hazmat equipment a precautionary must when handling any samples of SCP-1121-1. Furthermore, SCP-1121-1 has been observed to remain active long after Stage 3 has concluded, with samples of skin showing active cultures of the mutated bacteria for up to redacted years after initial infection. It is currently unknown during what period of time removed skin remains an infection hazard. Addendum 1121-A-01 Recovery and Preliminary Containment Note. SCP-1121 was discovered on a meteorite unearthed during an archaeological dig in Beta Expunged, New Mexico in 19 redacted. The archaeologist first exposed to the meteorite was infected with SCP-1121-1 and is at this point considered to be patient 0. Within 2 days, the infection had spread from patient 0 to the entire on-site research team and several citizens of redacted. Initial containment was managed by the CDC, but after patient 0 entered Stage 3 of the disease, operatives within that agency brought into the Foundation. The meteorite and patient 0 was transferred to Biological Research Site 13, and all land in a 10-kilometer radius around the dig site was cleared using MK-77 bombs. The only known colonies of SCP-1121 were recovered from the meteorite. Mass spectrometer analysis using rubidium strontium dating of samples determined its age to be approximately 2,500,200,000 years old. That is a long time. That was not in the file. Addendum 1121-A-02 Excerpts from Testing Log 1121-T. Test Designation 1121-T-01. Name/personnel ID, Dr. Data Expunged. Test Subject D-73345. Transcript O2 redacted dash, let me say that again. O2 dash redacted dash 19 redacted 2317. Stage 1 oh wait, I skipped it. 23 8:34 is the time. Not in the file. B-73345 was placed in an artificial coma, and SCP-1121-1 was introduced to his skin. O2-redacted-19 redacted. 2317. Stage 1 symptoms set in with lesions appearing to spread evenly across subject's body. Lesions seem to be radiating out from the left upper thigh, where SCP-1121-1 was applied to subject's skin. O3-redacted-19 redacted. 2020-48. Subject still in coma. Lesions have started to disappear, and subject's skin has been observed to be undulating slightly. O4-redacted-19 redacted. O3-17. Undulation seems to have stopped. Skin seems pale, but subject's vital signs are still good. Subject brought out of artificial coma. Once D-73345 is lucid enough for conversation, Dr. Redacted initiates contact over the intercom. Dr. Redacted, D-73345, how are you feeling? D-73345, fine, I guess. I look pale. Subject grunts. Dr. Redacted, anything you would like to share with us? D-73345, not really. Look, Doc, how much longer am I gonna be here? Dr. Redacted, just a little while longer. D-73345, we need to observe your behavior. D-73345, my behavior? What the hell's wrong with my behavior? Dr. Redacted, nothing's wrong with your behavior. We just... D-73345, you're goddamn right, nothing's wrong with my behavior. Dr. Redacted, no need for hostility, D-73345. We're just here to learn from you. Research Assistant Redacted, Doctor, I'm not sure I can stand this. D-73345, you can't stand what, asshole? Research Assistant Redacted leaves the control room. Dr. Redacted, my assistant had to excuse himself. It seems he's disturbed by your activities since you woke up. D-73345, what the fuck is wrong with you dicks? I've just been sitting here. Dr. Redacted, tearing long strips of your skin off your left leg. Yes, I know. D-73345 was observed without comment for approximately 1 hour and 32 minutes until he'd removed all skin from his body and had become highly erratic and volatile. Subject terminated and incinerated as per protocol. Test designation 1121-T-05. Name personnel ID, Dr. Redacted. Doesn't necessarily mean it's the same one. I can't tell because it's redacted. And none of that is not in the file. Test subject D-14523, D-4237, D-72389, D-92392, D-24239, D-22984, D-49324, D-3722, D-2293, D-14818, D-88324, D-54491. Transcript. 21-redacted, -19 redacted. 1513. Subjects were placed in an artificial coma and SCP-1121-1 was introduced to their skin. 21-redacted, -19 redacted. 1658. Stage 1 symptoms set in on D-49234. Other subjects follow. 21-redacted, -19 redacted. 1744. Last subjects begins to show stage 1 symptoms. 21-redacted, -19 redacted. 1856. First subject enters stage 2. Other subjects follow more rapidly than during stage 1. 23-redacted, -19 redacted. 00101. Last subject enters stage 3. Subjects brought out of artificial coma and observed. 23-redacted, -19 redacted. 0013. Subjects begin removing skin while talking amongst themselves. Conversation soon becomes increasingly erratic as subjects remove more skin from their bodies. No hostility towards other test subjects noted. 23-redacted, -19 redacted. 0334. Subjects are now entirely skinless. The unknown substance hidden beneath their epidermis seems to be data expunged, milling around like redacted. We'll need to study this behavior further. Subjects terminated and incinerated as per protocol. Addendum 1121-A-03. You know, like when you were a kid, you dig out the ant's nest and step on the biggest one just to see them all run around like little maniacs? They reminded me of that, the way they just stumbled around flailing. Research assistant redacted. Addendum 1121-A-04. After 1121-T-5, it's been theorized that SCP-1121 could be part of a terraforming experiment. If that is the case, one is left to wonder just what it was supposed to turn us into. I'll read that again because I mispronounced. No, that's not in the file. If that is the case, one is left to wonder just what it was supposed to turn us into. If it's even us they were even after. Dr. Redacted. Footnotes. 1. Self-contained breathing apparatus. In the file.